This is video number 7. This is an order of operations with exponents lesson. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, what I'd like you to do is make sure that you have your homework sheet out, which looks like this. We're going to do definition for exponents, and then we have 4 guide practice problems. And then at the bottom we have 4 practice problems, which I'll show you the answers at the end. If you have any questions when we go through this video, just write your questions down there at the bottom. Okay. Exponents. Exponents are just repeated multiplication. For example, 4 times 4 times 4 is really 4 to the 3rd power. This number here, the 4, is called your base, and the 3 is called your power. Now, a common mistake is that students take the base, which is 4, times the power, which is 3, and say that 4 to the 3rd power equals 12. That's incorrect, because we know it's repeated multiplications. It's 4 times 4 times 4, so 4 to the 3rd power is 64. Now, the trick comes with exponents with negatives. There's a lot to understand here. Go ahead and erase this. I drew in there. Exponents with negatives. The first one, this is read as the opposite of 4 squared, which is equal to 4 times 4, and then we have to take the opposite of that. 4 times 4 is 16, and the opposite is negative 16. Okay? The rule is we always square just the base. The base here is 4. 4 squared is 16, and then this means that we need the opposite of it. Okay? In the second example, this is read as negative. It looks very similar. The only difference is the parentheses around the negative 4. So this is negative 4 squared, which means that this, because it has parentheses, is the base. The negative 4 is the base of the power. So it's going to be negative 4 times negative 4, which is 16. Okay? We're going to work with these negative exponents in the next few problems that we do. So let's take a look at number 1. This is read. I'm going to read it correctly to you so you get understand what it sounds like. This is negative 9, because the negative signs group with the 9 squared, plus the opposite of 3 squared. So this would be negative 9 times negative 9, and we know that's 81. Plus, and then 3, the base, we're only squaring the base. 3 squared is 9, and then we need the opposite of it, which is negative 9. So 81 plus negative 9, different signs, difference, gives us 72. Okay, let's take a look here at number 2. Okay, number 2 is a little bit tricky. Okay, well, we want us to change the subtraction into addition. Okay, but we can't change the sign in here. So what we're going to do is add, and then we need the opposite of this whole thing. So we're going to put the negative sign outside, right? And then we're going to work through it. So we want negative 8 squared. Negative 8 squared is 8 times 8, which is 64. Plus, then whatever the opposite of negative 9 squared, that's going to be negative 9. This should be negative 8 times negative 8. Negative 9 times negative 9, which is 81. And then we need the opposite of that, so we're going to add negative 81. Different signs, difference. So it's going to be 81 minus 64. Borrow 7. 11 take away 4. Excuse me, is 7. 7 take away 6 is 1. And we have more negatives than positives, so it's negative 17. Okay? We'll practice more like 2 in class. Number 3, we have negative 12 times negative 2 squared minus 5 times negative 3 to the 3rd power. Okay? Well, we're going to change this to adding its opposite. Okay? And you put that negative with the 5 because it's inside parentheses. And now we're going to go ahead and do our exponents first. So this will be negative 2 times negative 2, because this is the base. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. So we have negative 12 times 4 plus, and then we have negative 5 times, well, this is negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, okay, because that negative is grouped with the 3. So negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Well, this will give us 9. 9 times negative 3 will give us negative 27. So it's going to be negative 27. Okay, negative 12 times 4 is negative 48. Negative 48 plus negative 5 times negative 27. So I'm going to have to do that out here on the side. 27 times 5. Well, that's 35. Carry our 3. 5 and 2 is 10, and 3 is 135. Negative times a negative is a positive. So it's plus 135. This is a different signs difference problem, so we're going to have to subtract. So 135 take away 48. We've got more positives than negatives, so we're going to the answers will be positive. Borrow, that becomes 2. 15 take away 8 is 7. This becomes 0. 12 take away 4 is 8. So our answer is 87. Okay. Looks like a very simple problem, but look how much work we had to do with number 3. Okay. Number 4. Let's take a look here at number 4. We have 6 in parentheses. 6 minus 8, whatever that answer is, we're going to square it. Minus, in parentheses, 4 minus 7, whatever that answer, we're going to cube it. Okay? Well, let's take care of all the subtraction signs. So be careful here. It's going to be 6 plus negative 8. And then plus whatever the opposite of this whole thing comes to. So we need the opposite of whatever that is. And then 4 plus negative 7. Okay? We've got to do the math inside the parentheses. 6 plus negative 8 is negative 2. Okay? That doesn't come outside parentheses, so it's negative 2 squared plus the opposite of, well, 4 plus negative 7, different signs difference, so that's going to be negative 3, and we're going to cube that. Okay? Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. So it's going to be 4 plus the opposite. What's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3? Negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. We already did this. That gives us 9. 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. And then we need the opposite of that. So it's going to be 4 plus the opposite of negative 27. So it's going to be 4 plus 27, which will give us 31. Okay? These are just going to, you're just going to have to practice them. Okay? And we'll do some practice tomorrow in class. Okay? And now, what I'd like you to do is pause the video and complete the problems below. After you finish this, you can start the video and you can check your answers. Okay? Now, you've got to follow the rules when you're doing this for the exponents, and especially pay attention to the signs. Now that the video has been on pause, I'm going to bring up the answers. You go ahead and check your answers with what I have up here. Number 5, I got 84. 6 is 80. 7 is negative 121. And 8 is negative 11. Okay? Instead of me trying to explain and work out these here in this video, what I want you to do is circle the ones that you missed and bring those to class tomorrow, and we can go over those, okay, along with any other questions that you have. Well, thank you for completing your homework tonight. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow in class and answering your questions. Bye.